Page 18, Rage Over a Lost Penny. Believe it or not, that's the name of the piece. This is sort of a humorous piece that Beethoven wrote. He had a sense of humor, although you couldn't tell it very often. Cut time again, but again, when we talk about this, I'm going to talk about it as though it's in 4/4 time, and we'll put it back in cut time later, because this piece is really very fast. Yeah, so we'll take it nice and slow to begin with. It's got one sharp in it. It's a G major or E minor. Well, in this piece, it happens to be in G major. So make sure you can do the scales. The G major scale and the E minor scale, 2 octaves up and down. If you know them, okay. Right hand first. You're going to move around a lot here, so just get ready. This is here. You're starting sort of here, but you're not going to stay there very long. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, I said I'm taking this in 4/4 time to start, so a quarter note gets a count here. 1, 2, 3, and then thumb, and then here. So it's really it's an inversion of a chord, a broken chord. That's all that is. And then come up here, it's a D and your 3rd finger. Rest. During the rest, come back down, do it again. And then up again, 2nd finger. And then down here, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Top of page 19, it's a 5/2. I like this using different fingers on repeated notes anyway, so this is nice. And then 4th finger, the idea is it's a little more awkward to use 5th finger. Remember, this is a very fast piece, so the fingering we use has to be able to handle it at a fast speed. And little finger doesn't work very well. So 4th finger, that's fine. If you want to use 5th finger there, then use 3rd finger on the D sharp. That works better. But then that makes that, you have to play that with thumb. But the fingering in the book is fine, just here. Still using thumb, then you come down, do it again. And then again. And remember that C sharp is good for the rest of the measures, so all those C's are sharped. And then here. And then lift up and go back. And you're back to what you were doing to begin with. Left hand has the chords. Keep the left hand out of the way. They're just pulsating rhythm. Keep the rhythm. That's not a 5/7 chord. It's a 1 sus4 type thing. So the 5/7 chord would have had here. That's not what Beethoven wanted. He wanted that. The last measure of the page, on page 18, you come down to the E minor chord. See, we went into E minor. And again, put the hands together here slowly. Rest. Hopefully you get the idea. Then we can add the articulation. A nice light wrist staccato here. And the right hand gets staccato sometimes, so watch out. But the left hand is pretty much staccato throughout. Short staccatos. Rest. Accent here at the top of page 19, 2nd measure and 3rd. Accent for both hands. And back to what you were doing. Then you can add the dynamics. That goes to the right hand. Keep the left hand out of the way. It's in the background. Whatever you think moderately loud is. Whatever that is. The left hand needs to be soft. And you're staying there more or less. You can get a little louder and softer as you feel the music. And then the last measure on page 18, now you're soft. Except for the accent notes, those are like medium soft. And then you got a crescendo in the second line there on page 19. You're going to go up to loud. That's the climax of the piece. Getting frustrated here, and then you're back to what you were doing like at the beginning. Now, the last measure, because you've been staccato in the left hand all the time, now you're not. Lift up, hold that down until you play that. As you play the G, lift up that G. So it's here. Last two measures. And that has a tuning toe on it, so hang on to that. Don't cut it. You can hear it just a hair longer than a beat is fine. Or a half a beat. When you put it in cut time, which we need to do, we want to feel it in two. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Allegro, again, you'll find recordings of this, but you don't have to play it that fast. You have to play it your Allegro, not somebody else's. And they're giving you the metronome markings for that half note, but again, that's pretty fast. But it has to be accurate. These eighth notes have to be even. It all has to be controlled. So don't go over your speed limit, or especially if anybody's listening to it. Then on top of that, they added just a little bit of pedal. Over there on page 19, into the second line, just for one measure, they added pedal. And that was for the climax of the piece. They're adding overtones for the climax of the piece. You don't absolutely need it, but it's okay. They put it in there, and I suggest you push the pedal down with the notes in that measure and lift it up before you play the notes in the next measure so we get silence. You see in the music, they're showing that pedal marking goes all the way to the next measure, and I disagree with that. I think it should come up at the end of the second line. So there's silence. So it's like taking a breath. So I would lift the pedal up with the hands at the end of that measure and then go on. I don't know that I need to show pedal just for that one little thing though. I'll give us 4 counts. Let's try this together very slowly. Now I'm going to put the metronome on quarter notes, so I'm going to give us 4 quarter note counts. Yeah. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest.